Hello everyone, it's Louise here from Create with Louise, and I have the new Close to My Heart catalogue starting July 1, and I'm going to showcase a card kit here on page 10 and 11, and this time we get a slimline card included in the cards that we'll be creating. And look at these beautiful thin cuts here of shells and starfish and some background stamps. So let's have a look. We'll open it up and see what we get. So we've got our cards and envelopes, 2 sheets of clear sparkles. It makes 16 cards. There's the card bases of 3 designs. We've got our instructions, our paper, and you'll notice that on the zip strip here, the branding strip, it says bulk. So for makers, we are able to purchase bulk papers of these too. So that's what's included. And some cardstock. So we've got white, lagoon, periwinkle, toffee. Our stamp sets with some sentiments. Let's celebrate. You're so special. Thank you, and just a little hello from me. And what I'm really looking forward to are these die cuts. So I'm going to get started and get creating some of these designs. Back soon. I've gone ahead and cut all the pieces out for the 4 cards, and I'll start on card 1 and look at how these shells have cut out. Lovely detail in them. Now I've only cut out 1 for each design today, and I'm going to start stamping. And these, I've never used this stamp before, so I've seasoned it by rubbing it on my hand and then stamping a couple of times just to remove the manufacturing residue that might be left on it. And this is toffee ink, and we're doing some background stamping on the toffee cardstock, so tone on tone stamping. Then we take the long edge and we're going to tear about 1/2 inch off this edge. Now all the pieces in this stamp set are going to require seasoning as I go, because I haven't used it at all yet. So on the first time I've used it, I tend to rub it on my hand and stamp off as well. And I'm here doing 2nd generation stamping, so you stamp off onto your scrap paper and then stamp. So you're just going to get a lighter tone of that lagoon ink. I will link below this kit and the other products I've used. So the catalogue has gone live today on July 1st, and it runs for 2 months while supplies last. So if it's really popular, it does sell out early. Now next I'll be doing some splattering using the ink. So you squeeze the lid to the base, and I've got a small round tip water brush, and add a drop of water, mix it up, and I always use something to tap, so just sprinkling some toffee ink all over this piece. I'll give it a wipe up so that I'm not going to contaminate the ink pad with water. Squeeze out onto my chamois. Here we'll be adding ink using the water brush. So we just pick up a bit of ink out of the lid, and I'm going along the marks that in the thin cut. So this method you can also add a little bit more ink in some places so that you can get variation of colour. Gives more interest to your elements, and then you just set them aside to dry off. Now it's time to put this card together. So the lagoon's going up on the top, the patterned leaf pattern paper will go on the bottom, and then the portion where they meet, that's going to be covered up by the stripy piece. So while I'm putting this all together, and some elements will have foam tape, I will speed this portion up of the video. So now we'll get on to the second card, and it'll be much the same. We'll be stamping in periwinkle the background, and I'm just checking that I've got, because it's not a square, so I just want to make sure that I've got it in the right direction. So these background stamps really add to your sentiment. Sponging is another thing to do behind sentiments that looks really good. So I'm just changing the sentiment to "You're so special." And the sentiments in this card kit are lovely too. So we'll get our toffee ink again and do our water brush colouring technique. And so for the toffee shells and starfish, it's a tone on tone, so it's a more subtle colouring in. You can add more ink, of course, to highlight it more, to give more depth of colour. So I'll just speed up this portion here. So we'll get our card base and we're going to add some splatters. So add a drop of water. You need to add the drop of water just so that you've got something to add the splatters with. If you've liked what you've seen today, please like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate everybody who does this. It really helps my channel grow. Thank you. So we'll get this card put together, and we've got two triangles that we're going to set down on the long edges there. And I'll speed this up as well because it's just gluing pieces down and adding foam tape to some elements. It appears I've lost some of my video footage here. I do apologise. Off camera, I completed the rest of the cards because the techniques were the same throughout the workshop. So here they all are, the slimline. And on the first card I did forget the bling, so I've come back and put the bling on there. And the colour palette is just really lovely in this range. We've got the Lagoon, the Periwinkle and Toffee. And I will put still photos of them all on my social media as well, so that you can get a closer look. So until next time, I am hoping to play a little bit more with these beautiful thin cuts, and I will catch you on my next video. Bye for now.